Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, leisure. Welcome back to IFWL and welcome back to the GT Open. It is week number 3 at Paul Ricard. And right now, it is 5 minutes left in free practice. I am Alexa Marshall, aka Alexi, and we are going to be bringing you all the action for quite a while, it would seem. I'm here to stay, and this is going to be the chat, and this is going to be the one which we are looking at as we head into this fight. It's Paul Ricard, it's tarmac, it's known to many, like myself, as the parking lot. So many different variations of circuits can be used in this. Of course, using the longest layout without the back chicane, which Formula 1 used to use before it was taken off the calendar. We have an updated overlay tonight as well, so it's a little bit more streamlined for you. And of course, it is currently 32 track temperature, 28 degree ambient, no rain on the radar, and it's a little bit cloudy in the skies above, so it may not be optimal for the planes that may come into land at the airport right next to this track, of course located in the south of France, surrounded by so many hills. And I've flown it in Microsoft Flight Simulator. It is very tricky to find even in a plane, so it's very tucked away, and it can really fare quite a few battles, as this is right now Boston listed some top 1 minute 54.432, whilst you've got Harris there in P number 2, 0.028, who's currently nearly chased down a lap time. But of course, as we know, never say never, because qualifying is where it's going to be set, and free practice can really be an outlier sometimes. Of course, 15-minute qualifying followed by of course, a 1 hour race. Please bear with me as I get the surroundings, as it's going to be very interesting to try and remember so many different formats for so many different series that I'm going to be doing here. Soon, I would say, as we've got Handler who's currently out there at the moment, of course, in the Max Mini Enduro he took part. As you've also got, but I noticed some of these names. I do notice some of these names, including that man who's currently in the pit lane, Mr. John Goday. I know him quite a little bit, so it'll be interesting to see what he could do tonight. Jones, of course, this is the big story, I would say. Don't really have information from last week, but going into this week, changing out the Ferrari, gonna give it, in fact, no, I don't know why I'm saying Ferrari, sticking with the trusty Beamer, what he calls the purple meanie, and of course, he would end up winning at Spa in the series on Friday, just gone last week. So, is he going to be able to replicate that win with the fuel strategy? We'll have to wait and see, as 1 minute 42 remain in this practice. So that is definitely going to be the interesting part. We've got a few people out there who yet say lap times. Push out there, same with Goose, Schumacher, Hiroko, and etc. So how they fared there is Donahue in the Lamborghini Huracan Evo 2. So personally, my favourite car in this game. Let us know what your favourite car is in the chat, or if you are watching on the VOD, just feel free to let us know in the IFWL Discord. And of course, this is going to be all the way with 1 minute 10 remaining on the clock. We will remind you, if you want to get exclusive perks, or I say exclusive perks, or if you want to get a little bit more information, you can go to Patreon. IFWL does have a Patreon. You can go there today. It's patreon.com/IFWL, and you can use code Lexi at checkout to get 50% off your first month. So that is LEXI. That is code Lexi for 50% off your first month. And of course, gotta give a big thank you to the affiliates and sponsors, of course, G-Portal, Fanatec, SimGrid, Loaded, aka formerly CD Keys, Moser Racing, and Coach Dave Academy. You can see them on the bottom of your screen here tonight. Let us know as well, so we can make the action even better for you, especially here on console, where we are limited a little bit with what we can do with the cameras. Let us know what you're thinking, and anything that could be improved with the overlay, etc. It'll be great to get your information on it. There is Dulich in the orange and blue. And I will say this, as we've got 3 seconds left in 1. Checker flag flies here in free practice. And we'll just go through chat real quick. Welcome in Mackie, welcome in Bard, welcome in John, and welcome in Matt. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, and we hope you're having a fantastic evening. Yo has gone to the top now as well for that. So that's a 1 minute 54. There is Boss going to deny it in that gold Ford Mustang, P number 1. It is very Ford dominated, no surprise, with the straights here at Paul Ricard. So Boss P1, Yo P2, Harris P number 3. McGowan in the Ferrari though, P number 4. And we've also got 37. We've also got 37 drivers on this grid tonight, so it's going to be a little bit hectic, I would say, as we get ready to go into qualifying. But we're just waiting for this to. Come to a little bit of a change over here. So, of course, don't forget you can well, I'll say like. This isn't YouTube. This is Twitch. You can subscribe, and you will get emotes and everything. So, yeah. I suck at promotion, jeez. Yeah, as we do get our bearings here, as of course, last time I did GT Open, that was like 2 months ago, and now we go again, which is me full time. So we've got people still out there. Who's going around at the moment? 167, 187. There we go. I don't know why I made that 6, and I am getting caffeine. Here comes Roach to the line. And it is green, green, green. Here in qualifying, pit lane opens, and Jablo is going to be the first driver out there, as we are 1 follower away from 300 here on Twitch at IFWL, and we'll see if Jamblo can take us to the top here in qualifying. He is going to be the first driver out there. He has got another Beamer behind him and an Aston Martin, a Ford, etc. So we'll wait and see how these drivers are going to make their decisions around this circuit. Of course, qualifying is going to be an interesting one. You probably want that toe on the back straight, but not into turn number 9. So that is going to be the interesting factor as they head through the left-hander. Please do let us know if the audio levels are alright, as that is going to be Batman. There is Jablo in the car. Probably going to try and get some heat into the tyres if he can't already. It's 32-degree track temperature, 28-degree ambient. Overcast with no rain on the radar, and it is an optimum track surface. Couldn't ask for anything better in qualifying. Not a little bit of overcast for the brakes. Perfect track surface for the tyres to get a little bit sticky and cling onto it. So as we head into this complex and towards what I like to call the upside down mustache, because on the track map it looks like an upside down mustache, we will get Jablo, who is making his way round at the moment. You can also see over the rear wing there all the other drivers currently making their way through. And of course, like is tradition with my commentary, we will go for the first onboard lap in the first part of qualifying. So coming out the final corner now, the 969 Jablo in the Beamer. It's going to go pedal to the metal, foot will go to the floor, green flags on the side, and on the gantry, it's go, go, go for the first lap here in qualifying. Got to be careful with the lap traffic. People still coming out the pit lane, but down into the braking zone for turn number 1. But then you are very, very quickly going into turn number 2. Use as much of the curve as possible. Run it wide in turn number 3. On the exit of turn number 2, I should say. Try and keep it within those bollards. Those are your track limits at most parts of the circuit. Down into the chicane. Down into the chicane, and then into what is like an arena section, similar, I wouldn't say similar to Hockenheim, but possibly inspired. Then you begin the long right-hander run, and then into the left, and onto the back straight here at the circuit, Paul Ricard, and I put Richard in the title. So while we go down the main straight, we'll fix that real quick, as they continue with the throttle going at max. How are they going to choose their opportunity and go for their time? It comes down to this. How will the first lap do? You want to set a good example here to be able to go and choose your opportunity, and down into the right-hander. Gonna hold on to it, through and through, over the curve, using the bollard as the little pointers, keeping it valid within the track limits as they head around the outside parts, and now continuing with that other car ahead. You see the rear view mirror here. You always get a good example of this when you're on the back straight during the racing action, because you can see all the cars in the rear view as they head through the left-hander. Oh, having a casted car there as the rear end slips out for Jablo, but it looks like he hasn't validated, unfortunately. We'll continue watching him, but I do believe there's an invalidation at some point, unless ACC is doing deceiving things like it likes to. Around the final corner, gonna go to the line here for Jablo, 696 in P number 2 at the moment with no lap time on the board. Gonna go to the line. He will settle at 1:55.357. Mendez making his way round at the current moment. So is Yo. Yo's just coming out the final corner. John Goodey 2/10 behind. Harris is gonna go to the top, 1:54.4 flat. Yo cannot beat it. Just outside, just within the 1:54, but still not close enough to this man, who is currently up there. But number 66 with a 1:54.4. Good lap time for him as you've got the Porsche coming through. You've got Collie who's currently coming out through the right-hander now of the final. Going to go to the line here. Is Collie going to get a lap time on the board? It will be invalidated. What about Roach in a different one? I saw earlier. He's making his way through at the current moment as well. You've got plenty of other drivers keeping an eye on the timing board on the left-hand side. Jablo P3, John Goodey P number 4. Boss goes into P number 3. Got the rest of them. Ruffleton's making their way through. Goose is up there. So is the Falcon. As here comes Kristen. They're starting a brand new lap here. What about Klugen? They have started a lap. They're about 1/3 into this lap time. Looking now at Drulich as they are making their way through as well. Harris still yet to be beaten, 1:54.4 flat. So that is a lovely little lap time there. You'll love to see it when you see those zeros on the end. It can really be quite a spectacle. But now into the final corner for the Porsche driver, the 306. Going to come to the line here. Going to go all the way. That was Rick who went on the leaderboard there for 3-4-5 for a moment. Goes to the line, does the Porsche. P number 15, 3.225 off that top spot. But now, still quite a few, because 37 drivers in the grid, only 20 have set valid lap times. Mendez, we've seen what he can do. We'll see if he can put a number 1 on tonight. He can put on quite a spectacle in Matt McLaren from what I've seen. So we'll see if it's going to be his opportunity to impress the rest as he makes his way around this circuit at Paul Ricard as we look at the aerial camera provided by the helicopter, totally professionally trained, and then through the right-hander, long right-hander. The grandstand's not so full as you might hope, but it is no surprise for Paul Ricard. It's not everybody's favourite, but it could be some of these drivers, as McGowan in the Ferrari has gone to P2 while we were talking about that fan, and it is now that Ferrari, the number 64, which is looking to upset. So will they be able to change the opportunity? We'll wait and see here as we're going right up against the back of the Beamer here, coming out the final corner. Beamer does go wide. Is Mendez going to get a good run here? Looks like he will. Got to go to the line for this lap time, and he goes up into the top 10. P number 9 for the 776. Not too shabby, if I do say so myself. Hanlon making his way through in the AMG, and he's looking to go as quick as possible. Here comes Florencio as they're making their way through. No lap time on the board yet for them. Are they going to go up the grid order? No, they will not. They will stay down there, invalidated. What about Push? And then you've also got Haronko, the only other Ford yet set a lap time here. What about what will the Beamer do? The Ford does go up the field, so does the Beamer, as that is going to be then there. Push goes P number 16. Where did the other Ford go? It looks like they ended up going Haronko there, P number 23. Not too bad. What about Schumacher? They have got the 777 currently making their way through. Now onto the back straight here. Of course, the PlayStation player looking to make a fight with that black, that yellow, that red in good old German colours here in the land of France. And now down the back straight as we continue going into the right-hander. Maybe, possibly, looking to send it in as quick as possible and continuing to hound. But we'll never know until that lap time comes to an end, as we are now over halfway through this qualifying time. 6 minutes, 50 seconds left on the clock. As we've got the 777 who RTG'd, but everybody else is out on circuit at the current moment, so trying to keep track of everyone. Harris currently making his way through the final corner. McGowan starting a brand new lap time. Is Harris going to get an improvement here? McGowan did last lap, goes to the line, no improvement there for Harris. Yo making his way through as well. He is just in front of McGowan. He's just in front of McGowan. So that's going to be interesting and sad between those guys, as there is Tagliafico, who's currently just outside, who's currently just holding on to that top 10 position, will stay there for a moment. Costello, as he's going to fall down. That was an improvement there for Battaglia, and it looks like Jones, no, was it Hanlon? Somebody did improve. Battaglia is making improvements. I apologise for any bad pronunciations. Pronunciations aren't exactly my strong suit. I'll make that very clear. As there is Kanajasaj, as they make their way through. The 216 yet to get a lap time on the board. Let's give a bit of spotlight here before we go into the final 3 minutes to these drivers further down the grid order, as Harris still fastest up there at the moment with McGowan P2, Yo P number 3. But looking at the bottom of the field here, we have Sabasa, Schumacher, Kanzi Saj, Dornchi, and LeBlanc, who is currently not on the board at the moment. LeBlanc possibly living up to it. Is it a white car? No, it is a black and blue car. So they make their way into the pits, it seems. As going back up the order, no change there for those guys. Hanlon still P4, Jablo P5, John P6, just P7 I should say. Battaglia in P number 8, John Godet P9, and Silovsky in P number 10. So what will these drivers at the back do? We've got Kanasaj, who is currently slowest on the grid, as of course we have last Friday's race winner in the chat, Jambo Jackal. Welcome in, good sir, as they continue around this circuit. Speaking of which, where is Jones? P number 7. Well, there's Jambo Jackal. I do get confused. Is Jambo Jackal Jones? Because I never figured that out. I got very confused after last time, so I'm going to try and figure that one out tonight, so we have more knowledge going into the rest of the week. Kanasaj still yet to get a lap time on the board as they come now into the final corner, as McGowan has gone to the top there. As I was talking about the back markers, I look at the chat, McGowan is up top by less than a tenth of a second. Harris is going to have to put a stopper in here, but he's got 4 minutes left to do so. Now back out on the circuit, through and short, out there as well. Improvement there for Kanasaj, as that was also an improvement there for Rick. Rugen also there. So that's that little fight. I feel like we're going to see quite a few little trains tonight and some good side action. Because whilst it may not be good in Formula 1 cars, GT action around Paul Ricard is never one to miss as they head through the left-hander and onto the back straight as the driver that we are watching. But right now we have McGowan up top, Harris P2, Yo P3, and chat, don't forget to hydrate. Seven tens at a moment. 718, no, 710. There it is. That is Wang, who has had a moment there in the back part of the circuit as they try and rejoin onto the track, taking the wide line, not wanting to get in anybody's way here. What about this man though? Harris in the Ford. That horse, which, as it shows on the side, is going to be on a hunt. It is looking to reclaim its pole position, and let's see if he can do it. Less than a 10, less than half a 10 separates him and McGowan. Will this American unit with American power under the hood choose to go for it? And yes, it's called a bonnet, but it's also called a hood. Very wide out that corner, but maybe not idolizing the curve as much as you like. Very undulating over the circuit. Maybe that is going to cost them. We'll wait and see as they head towards the end of this, as I accidentally clicked that. But now Harris is there. They fight their way forward down this back straight with that beautiful sounding Ford Mustang engine. And it is one to listen to. You can hear it in real life around another French circuit. Now you hear it in game tonight. Is he going to keep it within track limits? Just about. You see the bollards, that's where you go. 125 left on this qualifying clock. 32-degree track, 28-degree ambient, no rain on the radar. Optimum track surface. This is ripe pickings for Harris. So as Harris now makes his way through, going to be into the right-hander, into the left-hander. What is this man going to do as they make it through and through? Who is going to have a moment here? Who's going to choose the opportunity on the windshield cam, all the way to the line here for Harris? Unfortunately not pole, and that is not what he would have wanted on the windshield cam, which honestly one of my favourite cameras, I would say. Windshield cam, hood cam, depends where you have it set up, but right now these drivers also making their way through as you get the little dash cams here, viewing the helmet through just outside of it as they are choosing their pickets and choosing their moments. Who is going to have this opportunity? It may seem to be this man, but let's never say never. And here comes Boss trying to make his way through. He will not get another lap time in. This is going to be his only shot. This is going to be his shot. He's going to not want to throw away his shot. Into the left-hander now. He's on the second row as it does currently stand, but 7 attempts to find to even get on the front row. It's checkered as they come towards the end of qualifying here. He is going to be one of the first few to end the lap time. Where is he going to sit? The number 100 looking to go around the right-hander. Going to go to the line here, pedal to the metal, foot to the floor in the Ford. 100 to the line here at Paul Ricard. P number 2 by 100th of a second. It could not get any closer unless it was 1,000th. And that is Boss on the front row. McGowan has surely got to be sweating, but is there an improvement in it? Same with Harris as well. Here comes McGowan to the line. He does get an improvement, 2.32. 0.232 for this man to find, for Harris to find. We've got a fight up for pole. Is it going to be the moment tonight? Will it be a Ferraris or will it be a Ford? It's a classic rivalry that dates all the way back, but it's a pit lane entry. And unless something happens here, which I do not believe it will, as yet we are battling up the exit of the qualifier currently. We'll come in to the line for the rest of these drivers. The drivers who was invalidated making their way round at the moment. Number 86 making their way round for the moment. But it seems like, unless Kristen puts an absolute stellar one in, it is McGowan who is going to be on pole with Boss P2 upsetting Harris in P number 3, I would think. Yo P4 and John Godet in P number 5. So this is your official final classification for qualifying, as it is going to be McGowan who will line up on pole position. Boss P2, Harris P number 3 with Yo P number 4, John Godet P number 5 with Hanlon P6, Jablo P number 7, Battaglia in P number 8, Mendes P9 and Jones P10. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go to a quick intermission. We'll be right back with your racing action after the little break. So you join us back as the formation lap is just about to get underway. You can see the drivers starting to leave the grid there. That is a... Oh, what has happened there? Boss has not left the line. So there we go. That could have been very, very bad. But the rest of the grid is going to leave the line now. So formation lap will get underway. Which I will just say thank you everybody for 300 followers here live on the IFWL Twitch, and the rest of the grid now files away. We cannot do this without the support from all of you all. But as the formation lap gets underway, your grid order is going to look like this. It's going to be McGowan who will line up on pole position in that Ferrari with Boss P number 2. But we're not separated by much of a margin in qualifying. Harris was on the front row but wasn't dethroned. He now sits P number 3. Young sits P number 4 to round out the four dominance in the top 5, with John Gaudet in P number 5, with Hanlon P number 6. Thank you for the subscription, Sloth, as Jablo will round out P number 7. It's Batagalia in P number 8 with Mendez P number 9. Jones sits P number 10 to round it out with Zorowski in P number 11. Fluencio sits P number 12 with Linton P number 13. It's then Tagliafico in P number 14 and Kristen P number 15. Costello sits P number 16 with Goose P 17. And that is going to be Dluashik, who is going to go very, very wide. He's P number 18. And it's Kansas, Varden, Schumacher, Devrill, Bronco, Pushi, Donahue, Colley, Sparsha, Logan, Vic, Lane, Jane Rush, Hill, Ruford, Wang Morrill, Mackie Santos, and Ben LeBlanc. So, those are the drivers, and that is how they stack up on the grid. Get into the racing action. If you want to support us even more here at IFWL, you can become a Patreon today. Go to patreon.com/IFWL. You can use code Lexi at checkout for 50% off your first month. So that's for first time users. It's 50% off using the code Lexi. It is LEXI in the spelling. So, right now as we come towards the end, of course, we've got Fanatec, Simgrid, Loaded, Moser Racing, Coach Dave Academy, and G-Portal. Could not do this without our affiliates and sponsors. As we continue here, it is going to be, it stayed pretty much the same. In fact, it stayed exactly the same since qualifying and free practice. No change yet, I would say. 32-degree track temperature, 28-degree ambient. Optimum track surface, no rain on the radar with overcast skies. It's a Ford, it's a Ferrari. An iconic battle, an iconic side. It is never one to disappoint. And as they come out this final corner, we're going to try and make it as iconic as we go along. It is as the formation lap comes to an end, all the drivers will go double file. It is all eyes to the gantry lights here at Paul Ricard. Green, 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 we are racing. That's going to be not so much start for Boss. Harris is going to get a good start. Yo also there. They're going to hold on to this at the current moment. Green flag did drop into turn number 1. We've already got a cone being thrown out. But down in turn number 1 is free abreast. There's already a car round. That is looking to be a McLaren. It's a Ferrari. Oh, there was a massive crash in the back as they headed down the main straight. Absolute chaos here at Paul Ricard. At least a quarter of the grid getting caught up in that. So not what you would have wanted. But as they continue here, it looks like the top 10 got away scot-free. But Boss now leads this, and we were looking at the chaos. We'll get a replay of that eventually, as long as ACC plays nice. But that is not what they would have hoped for. here on the opening lap of the GT Open at Paul Ricard as ACC does its little grid timing things as it does on console. Down the back straight though, here comes the Aston Martin, going to be up against the AMG, going to go to the side. John Goodey, he knows how to do that around this circuit. Can he get it done tonight? He's going to slot in behind. Not wanting to risk it for a moment. Here comes the Beamer. Jones on the outside, Linton on the inside. Through turn number 9, and that's not going to be a move yet. Going to play the safe game as they all go wide as they head out through turn number 9, using those track limits to the advantage. You know how they can bear, but now you see where that chaos started to call in. Because you've got 2 cars over the background. You saw damage as that is going to be Rufferton, who did make contact there. It looked like it was with another Ferrari. I'm trying to get aerial. There it is. Oh no. That is going to be with Roach coming out on that power turn number 9. So that is what happened there. We're going to get more replays of it on what happened with that towards later on in this race. But now coming out through the right-hander, going to hold onto the line in the background there. You see a Ford Mustang, you have Debril, who's there, currently making his way through. You've also got Hironko, who's locked in this fight. He was locked in between 2 Porsches, now he's got a Ferrari of Jane behind him. You've got Kristen just in front. So how are they going to choose their battles? They head now down the inside looking for it in the Ford Mustang, but nothing done. Yeah, we've only had 1 lap, and it's already a bit of chaos unfolding. But it's going, but we'll have to hope that it gets a little bit nicer as they go wheel to wheel, side by side throughout the rest of his race. Boss leads at the end of lap 1, followed by McGowan, and then go. But the mid pack seems to be where it's at. On the inside, you saw there Schumacher was looking for it. So was Goose. They're going all over these curves down here. And now this is where this Bentley is going to be having an absolute little bit of a time. He's going to be popped in that toe of the Porsche. Going to be looking to go for it. Down the back straight. Going to pull to the right hand side. Going to go for him on this. And he looks like he is going to get this. At the front moment, you saw the rear view. I bet they're not long, but they're still side by side here. Down into the braking zone for turn number 9. On the inside, goes for it, but nothing yet for the Bentley. A little bit of a boat heading through the corners, as many people like to call them. That McLaren holding the line a lot better through the right-hander as well compared to the Porsche on the previous lap. Barred a little bit from the back as well. Kansas, Bluish, and then the rest from these guys. That is Christian. Did they make contact with Lane? And they might have been trying to slowly trickle their way back onto the circuit with Paul Ricard doing his little line things, making the cars more translucent. But Roche, Plush, Donahue and Rufferton in the pit lane. No surprise with how much damage those cars have picked up. But now heading down throughout these corners, you've got so many drivers not fighting each other. This mid-pack is absolutely standard as gaps start to open up a little bit further in front. But here comes John today, trying to look for another move on handling here, continuously hounding the back of that AMG, looking at that rear bumper, trying to make their way through. If they're are they going to get the opportunity? We'll have to wait and see. It looks like it won't for the time being, but of course, I may get corrected here, but Pro-Am and of course Amateur, as you've got these guys in the background as well. Linton currently defending, Costello's there, Goose is there, Jones is there. They're all on to miss fight. Linton did get that move done as they headed into the chicane. A little bit of a 5-car, 6-car, 7-car train possibly, and Launch is going to be on the back of this as they are making their way through there, hounding each other with each moment as there's Hamlin. Here comes John today on the back of him, but a little bit from the back as well. This is the thing as well, Madagalia is going to be looking to get onto that back. They got short Ford Mustang quick, but so is Alexis. You may not get fancy livery here on it on console, but still, nonetheless, it's not the livery, it's the driver and car. Here comes John Goodey though, as it's a bad camera angle from Paul Ricard. Still on the back of Hamlin, nothing for him. But in the little bit of the background, Jones, Juice all over the back. Here comes Juice on the inside of Costello. Down into the braking zone, turn number 9, wheel to wheel, side by side, both going to go wide. But it's Costello who goes wider, and that's going to give Juice an opportunity to slide under, and he gets himself up into the number 11 there. So Sikorsky now looking at the back of Schumacher as well. This mid-pack is really putting up a fight. You can see how close they are on that mini-map, as Kazasaj is right there as well. One pit stop will be required. Going to have a Jane on the back for Ronco. Which, for perspective, we're just entering the mustache section with Jane, and if I go all the way back to Linton, Very well just coming out the final corner. If you want any more reason to show how close this grid is, that is the perfect reason. Well, now you can see it even more down this main straight. Look at this train of cars. Here comes Swarovski down the inside, looking for Schumacher, but nothing in the moment, as there is going to be Haronko in the fourth sector that might make his way through. We're basically, in fact, how many cars is this? There's Jones. We have got an 11-car train in this, and Schumacher backs off a lot of this, as Swarovski did actually get that move done. So that is what we missed while we were looking at that train following through. I'm trying to get the little bit of static shot there at turn one with that beautiful camera angle, but nothing at what we can't exactly do on console, unfortunately. But now here comes Costello still on the back. These Porsches running the corners, not so much on straight. Here comes Goose once again, trying to close in on Jones as they make their way forward. The gaps are opening up a little bit towards the front. People are at the pit, so the people at the back four of Donoghue, Russell, Roche and Puch have all made their pit stops in the background as well. You can see there coming out this corner. We've also got Puch on the back of them, as you've also got Schumacher now, who I was trying to catch him, but I couldn't, as that is going to be Blue and Shaw, who is going to get that move done on Schumacher. So lovely jubbly, and that is going to be that for them at that moment. That's a lovely long move made into on the back straight into turn number 9. John Gooday has, while we were looking away, John Gooday has got past Hamlin. Or has he? No, he hasn't. ACC cameras playing mind games. As there's Jablo, there's Linton, there's Jones. As he comes into the pit lane. Early pit stop for the Beamer driver. Very, very different strategy to what I've seen Jones do so far. So see if he can make a different opportunity here as they head for this right-hander. Goose on the back now. I should say has on the back is Costello looking to get that move done. Costello looking for a bit of redemption here in IFWL. Not the best Friday last time out, but almost getting overtaken there by Swarovski, who is going to be all over the back of this fellow Porsche driver. Those cut V6 gears are an absolutely lovely sounding piece of machinery. Steady, oh! Big rear end wobble there for the Porsche driver. Flies through, does Swarovski. What does he? He's still going to be side by side. Costello with momentum, able to hold it. Here comes Blue on shore, as he's going to be trying to hold it as well, using the slip and toe. Is he going to be able to fight his way through? Absolutely mega. He's going to get past Swarovski. Can he get Costello here? This Macca in Papaya is looking for it. Down into the braking zone, turn number 9. That's his favourite place tonight. That's 2 positions in 1 lap. Through goes Swarovski again on Costello. But I have to say this, Blue and Shield, what a move there. That is lovely to watch. But Swarovski is now going to fight this back. Also going to have Schumacher onto this fight. So this is astounding. And if, oh no, that's going to be Blue and Shield who's going to go wide. Swarovski's going to look free outside. There's no such thing as a curse chat. As they now, oh, into the back. And they are going to go out. Blue and Shield into the, almost into the barrier. They are spun around by the 2 Porsches. Just as I was giving it praise, by what seems to be no fault of his own, the McLaren goes wild. That is hard luck in France tonight. We're over 10 minutes into this, just over 10 minutes into this race now. It's Boss who leads, followed by McGowan and then Yo. Of course, if you're watching on Twitch or watching at the VOD, don't forget you can subscribe to support us here at IFWL. Or you can follow us on our socials at IFWL Official. Of course, on your screen, you can see them just below your timing, just below the timing tower on the top right, and then you can see your grid order on the left-hand side. It's powered by G-Portal, Fanatec, Simbrake, Loaded, Motor Racing, and Coach Dave Academy. So just over 10 minutes into this race, absolutely astounding here as we do have John Gooday, who has now got past, who has got past Jablo. It seems like he's now going to chase down Hanlon. Still, these guys have been fighting for quite a while. I think there was an overtake there by Jablo, but Gooday has got him back. These cars definitely within a team because there's Hanlon, there's Jablo. Similar liveries, I do say so myself. As there's Schumacher, he's made his way through. The Porsche's still fighting. Two Porsches in a fight as they continue to go around the outside. Big rear end slip there for Costello. Two Porsches fighting. What is this? The 24 hours on Nordschleifer. As you get Costello, who's now going to lose out to Swarovski. It seems like the rear end is an issue on the car of Costello from what we've seen for the moment. So that is going to be what happens for them at that current moment. So if there's going to be a fix for that, they're going to find it soon as they continue to hound each other, absolutely fight each other, as they continue around the circuit. Santos falling off the back. It seems like the back of the grid starting to fall off a little bit as Hill right now, just in front of the Beamer. In fact, he's gone past the Beamer. Wang losing out there to Hill. So nonetheless, it seems like the throttle is holding on to it for quite a while. Jones, Blugan, Mendez, O'Donoghue, Rutherford, Roche, and Bush. He's going to go, contact there, around goes Wang. It seems like Hill had a moment there, maybe a lapse of judgment turning in. Now here comes the Lamborghini, so that is going to be Donoghue, who's now going to be going for this fight as well. Going to be wheels to wheel side by side down the main straight, and that is going to be a nice little move here in the back of the field. Blue flags being flown down the main straight, so lucky there, but that is Donoghue who's going to get a lovely move, and he is going to get it done and dusted. What a fight we're seeing tonight here at IFWL. We'll go back to this fight because it's the one which is closest at the moment, it seems. Three-car fight, Schumacher, Swarovski, Costello, a Beamer and two Porsches, but you've also got to look on behind because you have got Barden, Kalasaj, and Timothy and Matt Littletrain starting to close in. So, who is going to have these opportunities? They're going to choose their times. It does seem to be opening up a little bit with these gaps, as that is going to be Panagania! Contact there for Schumacher and Swarovski. That is going to lead to a massive pile up there. Costello and Barden getting caught up in that. And onto the pit lane entry. Swarovski is going to get spun around more. He was already trying to go in, but that's just going to be even more damage for him, and his pit crew would have got a front row seat to that. You can only imagine the madness on the pit wall as the Porsche crew is going to have to get out and try and fix that. So now let's go back to the start. We are 15 minutes in. Let's hope that this works. Well, let's hope ACC doesn't do a thing. And we apologise, chat. It seems like ACC decided we're not going to have replays tonight. So I'm gonna throw us to intermission real quickly. We apologise for the technical difficulty. We'll be back in we'll be back in 30 seconds time when we're back in the lobby. as we come back within the helmet cam of this match of today. Still continuously trying to chase down that battle. Costello now here. Of course, we remind you, we did just have a little bit of an ACC moment. That was Sorowski as, oh, hello, Costello having a moment there in the first corner. Just at the first corner, so that's not what he would have hoped for. But the helmet cam bringing us a beautiful bit of insight here. Here is Kansaj, who is watching that fight just in front of Tagliafico and of course Costello. So we get a front row seat to this as you see the movements of the car in the helmet cam as they head around this circuit. It's absolutely amazing to see the G-forces that can be put upon these drivers. Even if you never know what technology, you never know what tech these drivers have. Somebody could have a belt-driven rig, or somebody else could be playing a controller. But either way, they are all welcome here at IFWL, and they always put on quite a show. Now down the back straight, trying to close in on the gap, but nothing there yet. But I will say this: this has been developing. I haven't really talked about it, but we have seen it developing. Harris is on the back of Yo, and Yo is coming onto the back of McGowan, and then McGowan getting closer to the back of Boss, as that is going to be a little bit of a moment as Jonak says disconnected. So that is unfortunate. It seems like Jonak has had a disconnection, which is not what you would have wanted here tonight. So we can only hope that you will be back for the next one and we can go again next week round. Heading through the right-hander now as you ride on board with Harris. Not the qualifying, he had a pretty good qualifying, but not the one he would have hoped for. Getting dethroned by Boss, who now leads this race. You see this pack all the way up here as we go back outside the car. If the game will let me. There we go. And they will continue to fight each other a little bit further back. You've got this, you've got Jane on the back, you've got Blue and Shio, who's on the back of this as well as actually the 217 has had a moment. In fact, who was that? I'm trying to catch who it was. Oh, it's Costello. Oh no, Costello. The rear end of Costello's Porsche is not behaving tonight. You can see damage on the front end of that car. I can only imagine going to have to try and alleviate those issues, because that is not what you want for the rest of the season. Well, hopes to him that he can improve it, as McGowan currently making his way through at the current moment, trying to chase down that leader ahead, but Yo and Harris on this as well. So this is the battle for P2 at the moment. 3-car train, a little bit coming onto this. Boss is not exactly in the moment yet. He is over a second ahead. Of course, no DRS, only your actual car's outline and the way that it will, and the way that air flows over it. So you're gonna have to choose a moment here, I guess, as you continue round here at this fight. Yep, still in the pit lane. So in this pack below P number 25, Mackie is the only one yet to make a pit stop. As that was Jane, who has got past the Monaco. And this gap up front, this is the interesting part. I'm starting to wonder, when is fuel going to come into a factor? Because surely these drivers will be running split fuel. It's very much a thing in ACC where it's like, if you don't run split fuel, unless it's in the rules, then you are going to be losing quite a bit of time. So we'll wait and see what will happen there. McGowan currently making his way down and making it through this moment. Who is going to choose their fight here? Because surely, we're nearly at the halfway mark, they are going to want to take away that top position, because then you are in control. You can decide what you do, because the drivers behind you will most likely react to what you do. Maybe that's what Boss knows, and maybe that's what McGowan wants. I feel like McGowan is currently, he's closing in, but he may try sit behind. He may opt for the strategy of see what the leader does and do the opposite. So it may be an option to stay out as 777 Schumacher is gonna get a drive-through. You see right there, he was still off the circuit. First penalty here at Paul Ricard, drive-through penalty for the 777. Jablo on the back of this as well. But we can't take our eyes off this top fight. The sparks are flying off the bottom of the cars, and he has closed it down to half a second. This is McGowan on the back of Boss. This is Harris on the back of Yo. So we have got two fights here at Paul Ricard, which can opt for either driver. Who is going to make the call? Who is going to pull? Who's going to pull the hypothetical nitrous from the boot? It is now going all the way to the line. We're nearly at the halfway mark. 8 minutes until we do so here at Paul Ricard, aka the parking lot, or some may say, or if others may say, the land of the or as others may say, the land of the circuit made of stripes. As drive-through cleared for the 777 there. But these drivers are still fighting. It looks like McGowan, he gave up. It may have been a little warning shot, may have been a little bit of warning over the bow there as he looked to the right-hand side, maybe starting to size up that Ford just in front of him. These car manufacturers have had a rivalry for years upon years, and they are going to go toe-to-toe again tonight. Here comes this fight though, a little bit further back. Jane is there. Aronco is there. Here comes Barden, who got overtaken, but the Aston Martin gives the straight line speed an advantage. So does the Ford Mustang. Is the Ferrari going to be in jeopardy? Down in towards turn number 9, and it is a little bit of a lift in most of these cars, but they're all going to go and opt for single file, not wanting to opt for a potentially risky strategy. Here we go, still on the back of this. Jane is there. The other two are behind, Barden and Aronco. Battle for P number 13, unlucky for some. So, how are they going to choose their opportunities tonight? We'll wait and see as they continue around, hounding each other, fighting each other, looking for any opportunity that they can get. There is a lapped car just in front. This is going to make it even more interesting now. Back markers coming into the fold. Is that the indication that Boss will need? Will that be the indication that it's time to come into the pit lane? Because you are going to be losing time to back markers. You are going to be losing those times to the drivers behind you. And that's going to give an opportunity, and that may open up an opportunity for them to overtake. So now, is that going to be the thing? Could it be forced? Could it be chosen? We're going to find out towards the end of this lap. 35 minutes, 35 seconds remain on the clock. Jablo making his way through into turn number 9/8, whichever one you want to call it, as they continue around this circuit, choosing their lines wisely, I would say. Wisely, play your cards, hold them close to your chest, and it is now number 64. Still coming on the back of this. We've got the back marker right there. They're sticking to the right. It's flash, flash, flash from the Ford Mustang. The blue flags will fly here at Open GT, but Harris knows it. He calls the box over the radio to the pit crew. They will be ready and waiting for that Ford. Is just on him to not miss the pits. As they continue around, the back marker moves out of the way. Boss flies through, flash, flash, flash in the background by Yo. McGowan is using that Ford just in front to go and choose the times. John Godet is now making his way through on Badagalia. He is not yet past as the flames fly out the Lexus. nearly halfway as they continue here through the left-hander, through the right-hander. Here comes Blue and Shio looking for a recovery drive after what happened earlier on. Now up against Barden, down the main straight, in front of the grandstands, but not yet. That Aston Martin straight line speed, which many will know so well, that's going to give the opportunity and that's going to give the little advantage for that. And he's going to go all over the curb, and it looks like he had a bit of a slip there going lateral in at the moment. But now they're going to be fighting and choosing, battling and going. Who is going to have their moment as they continue round? Harris into the pits, Kansaj and Haronko into the pits as well. So majority of the grid, aka the top 45 who are yet to do so, are most likely going to call their pit stops now. But how is that going to make the difference as well? One big difference can be pit stops and the time that it takes to do them. Is this lap traffic going to be? Is it going to be the big opportunity and the big decider here? As McGowan is there, Boss is there. As we'll look at that fight momentarily. Logan from the back as well. You got John today, but Dalia inside the top 5. One from Peter before is John. As you've also got Blue and Shio still on the back of Barden, but that straight line speed, like we said earlier, still having the choice. It's going to be the corners where that McLaren is going to have a bit of an advantage, especially this final sector and in the early and towards the end of the first half of the lap. So now is their opportunity. John Godet actually going to call it, and he comes into the box. So does Linton. So they're choosing to avoid any complications. As there is Santos, who's currently in this fight. As Blue and Shio going to be on the inside here. Going to have to switch it round into the braking zone. He's going to be on the outside here at the final corner. He's going to go wide there in the final, and now going to be choosing to hop in the toe as they head down the main straight in front of the grandstands. As they now go closer and closer. Is McGowan going to have an opportunity here though? He is in the toe down the main straight, down the back straight I should say, and it looks like the Ford Mustang is just about holding it ahead. That big old spoiler, aka ring on the back, having its moment as it helps the Ford keep that speed down the back straight. So here, Jablo in the background, you can see him just about there. McGowan there, he's hounding all over the back now. He wants to get past that. Ferrari is not wanting to let that Ford slip away. All looking for any sliver of hope, looking for any sliver as the 774 is round again. And of course, that being 774, 6, it was a car round. My eyes may be deceiving. As once again, no call for the box, apart from Yo. He does call the box. So the pit crew will be ready, and they continue here. But you can see in the rear view mirror now, 2 rear view mirrors on this Ford Mustang, is that Ferrari hounded all over the back. The blue, the pink, the blue, the pink, the black, all looking fancy tonight. As in this fight as well, you got Barden, who is constantly trying to chase this down as well. As you go over to the helmet cam in this fight, you got Boss here, who is looking once again. He's going to be up against the back marker. There is McGowan, Pascalia in the pit lane. Is now P number 3 for Hanlon's there. This is going to be an opportunity. This is going to be the interesting part. Where is John Godet going to be? Because he's making his way through for a moment. He's coming into the back part of this section with Yo not yet off the jacks. So I don't know why I say jacks. It's very much little rods that come out of the car. As they continue down this back straight once again. Looking for opportunity, looking for chance, looking for moments. You can make your moment tonight. That lap car getting in the way of Boss. Here comes the Ferrari, now going to be on the inside, I believe, almost making contact. It's getting incredibly close, will make contact there. You know who that is. Click the wrong button. This lap car in the way. Not what they would have wanted. Is that going to give Boss a little bit of a margin now? We know who that is, don't we? We seen that livery earlier on. It is going to be Sorowski, so will that be under investigation? We'll have to leave it to the stewards. As that is going to be that. Boss into the pits. McGowan not responding in kind. He is going to stay out an extra lap. Is this going to be futile, or is this going to be a master class strategy? It's now or never. Make your choices. Let's go for it. It is IFWL. It is your time, and it is our time. You want to get involved? SimGrid, of course. As you've also got Discord, you've got Patreon, as you've got this as well. Everybody is. It's a very welcoming community, beginner friendly as well. So either way you look at it, either way you slice it, it comes down to who you want in the who you want to choose as they continue here. McGowan now leads, followed by the rest of the grid, as this is going to be this fight. We've got Harris now on the back of John Godet, so John did get the jump here. As I had to pull out my laptop here, this is why I accidentally missed this, my apologies. As John Godet has got Harris all over the back of him. He's going to be wanting to go for this move as quickly as possible. The Ford Mustang not going to want to be behind John Godet for too long. Still got people coming in the pit. Santos, Jane, also got Barden, Goose, Hanlon, Jablo, Baragalia, and McGowan still to come in the pit lanes. So if we are going off net, then this is the battle for P number 3. As around the outside, here comes Harris, looking to go on the inside of John Godet, going to opt against it. As, can I do a breakdown of each category? I believe I can. I'm going to be honest, I'm going off intuition here a little bit, because I accidentally, I cannot remember off the top of my head. I forgot to add it to my notes, so I apologise. I'm going to go with Pro-Am, and Am. So in the Pro, it's going to be McGowan P number 1 with Badagalia P number 2 and Hanlon P number 3, but yet to pit. As I say that, into the pits they come apart from Badagalia. So then it's going to be Boss, John Godet, Harris, and then Jones. And of course, then you've also got Tecleflio, who is going to be up there, and then you've got Roach, who got caught up in an early incident as a stop go 30 for LeBlanc. So that is not what they would have hoped for. Then in the silver, I'm going to go with Jablo in P number 1, who is coming to the pit lane. Goose P number 2 with Barden P number 3. Linton P number 4 with Jane P number 5. It's then going to be Kansaj in P number 6 with Trotsky in P number 7. P number 8 goes to Hironko Schumacher, P number 9, and then Kristen rounding out the top 10 in the silver with, of course, P number 11, Brugen, P number 25, car number 64. Drive through penalty for McGowan. That is crucial at that moment. He came out behind Boss. Behind Boss, he came out. And yet, to add a little bit of insult to injury, is a drive-through penalty for the number 64. From bad to worse, not what he would have hoped for. As also, honestly, from bad to worse, to even worse is for this man. Blue and Shio had contact early on. That was already bad. He had contact not spun round, and later on after that, that's worse. And then he's got a drive through as well. So that is what happened. So Blue and Shio, bad for him as well, which there's no such thing as curses. That's all I'm going to say with Blue and Shio. There's no such thing as curses. As McGowan is P number 4, and now they're going to fall back because you've got Goose who now comes into the pit lane. Barden also here. He has got the beamer on, pounding him all over the back. If I were Barden, I would be calling the box yard over. we are behind now. We're just under 30 minutes into the pit. Oh, that got incredibly close there, Beamer. Woo! That got incredibly close. My God. As I will apologise again, chat, no replays, because when I try to click replay, it kicks me out of the lobby, unfortunately, as Kanisaj is going to get a drive-through penalty as well. The drive-through is being dished out him right, left and centre tonight, and even stop go 30s, which Rutherford has picked up here. So that is a stop go 30 for him, and he is unfortunately last as it currently sits. McGowan, you've got a feel for the man. How did he get a drive-through penalty? Speeding in the pit lane. So further back, you've got this 216 drive-through track limits. 2 laps remaining as they are further back down the grid as it just currently sit. Also got up Badagalia looking at Linton at the moment. Currently P number 9 looking for P number 8 heading down this back straight. They will get an extra position due to that drive-through ahead of McGowan. So that drive-through will come in crucial. Thankfully, the shorter style of pit lane compared to elsewhere where you may get the longer pit lane entry. But you've got Badagalia, who's currently making his way through. He's going to be on the inside here down the big straight, and even before the corner entry, he gets that moved up. But here comes Linton, going to fight it back, looking for the inside line in that linked coloured car, which, yes, that red is actually linked. That shade of red, I am pretty sure, is lint. I may get corrected on that. But Swarovski, I am going to mention this. Is this man going to be under investigation? Because he was lap traffic. If we're going by endurance rules, it just means, hey, there's a lap car behind you. It just means, hey, there's a faster guy behind you, just hold your line. But as the number 64 is going to be a stop, go 30 for McGowan! McGowan did not do this drive-through! Over to the side, and RTGs, and that is McGowan out of this race. Boss has been handed a golden opportunity with his golden Ford. And the fight for P2 is about to heat up even more. Harris, good aim, Yo, all in this fight. But now Yo is going through what happened at Rutherford. What happened was stop go 30 and massive crash on lap 1. Like, unfortunately I can't get the replay up because ACC will do Series SACC things, which I apologise for, and it will boot me from the game because there's over 30 people in the lobby, in the server I should say. But it is going, so why are they out of the race? Rutherford's back out on, back out on there. What on earth? I have no words. As, oh! Right, 776 and they RTG. Mendez into the pit lane here for drive through. So, was it a 3-3-3 for RTG? Might be. What happened with McGowan? We need insight onto that. What happened to him? We have drive through, stop go 30. McGowan, why are they out the race? They got a drive-through to speed them in the pit lane, didn't serve it, got a stop-go 30, and then pulled over, RTG'd, and retired. So that is what happened with McGowan. We've got Gooday right now. This is the battle for final place on the podium. Gooday and Harris. This is the fight for the final place on the podium with 20 minutes left in this race. If you're liking what you are seeing here tonight, don't forget you can follow us here live on IFWL Twitch. If you would like to support us, you can of course subscribe here. But as that is going to be a drive-through for Schumacher, unfortunately, we will remind you that you can support us by going to our Patreon. It is patreon.com/IFWL. Use code LEXI at checkout for 50% off your first month. That is LEXI. So that you can get 50% off your first month at IFWL Patreon as they continue fighting this fight back here, as Tagliafico is making their way through. They are currently 0.2 off the back of Jones, who has been having quite a decent race, I would say. Like, we haven't seen him much. We saw him in the early stages. We haven't watched him for about half an hour now, and he is being sat pretty consistently around this P number 10 mark. A driver consistency for him today. But now he's going to get put to the test again because he has a Ferrari coming up. Behind him. Track temperature and ambient hasn't changed. It has stayed nice and frequent here at Circuit Paul Ricard. It is, of course, 32-degree track, 28-degree ambient, optimal track surface with no rain on the radar. And now this fight as well, 2 seconds behind is Yo. Seems like he's got his podium place secured pretty well unless something happens. Schumacher now comes into the pit lane to serve their drive-through penalty. As I believe we have McGowan in the chat. McGowan, tough race. So, right now, we are watching this fight. Boss P1, Yo P2, John Gooday P number 3. As they continue here tonight, Rick is there, Blue and Shield is there, Devrill's there. He's actually got passion like to see Schumacher now getting updated on the timing board as it does fall down the grid order. So that is how that's going to sit for them at the current moment, making their way through. Jones there with Tagliafico making their way through as well. So that is what they're choosing for the moment. They are P number 10. So they did get past Jones actually while we switched back to watch that front fight. So Jones now lost out to the Ferrari. Not too bad, I would say, though. I will just say it's been a pretty good race so far. As here we go, Harris. Ford versus Aston down the back straight, battle for the podium. Who's going to come out on this one? Going to be going for the right hand side is Harris. We're going to opt against it, play the safe game. 15 minutes left in this race. So Blue and Shio on a bit of I'm going to say this, Blue and Shio's been on a pretty good recovery drive. He's up in P number 19 now, Devrill and Rick. So we've got an Aston versus a Ford up towards the front. And now we've got a Sky Blue. We've got a Sky Blue Aston versus a gold, black and white Ford, who's now on the back of Blue Shield. down into the braking zone, and nothing there for a moment for them. So that is unfortunate at the moment. Jones there as you look through the grid order with just under 15 minutes left on the clock. This is what your grid order currently looks like. Boss ends up leading this 23 laps deep on lap number 24. He leads, followed by Yo P2 and John Gooday P number 3. Harris sits P number 4, hounding the back of John with Hanlon P number 5. Jablo sits P number 6 with Panagalia P number 7. Then Linton P8, Goose P9, Tagliafico in P number 10, Jones P11 with Jane P12, Barden P number 13, Hiromko P14, Silver Sky P number 15. Kristen then sits P number 16 with Santos P number 17, Kenasaj in P number 18, Blumenschio in P number 19, Deverell P20. It's then Rick, Schumacher, Blugan, Costello, Morrill, Donahue, Wang, Mackie, Mendez, Roche, Push, LeBlanc, and then Rufferton, who has not had the best one tonight. So that's what's really unfortunate for them. You got a feel for all these drivers who got caught up in incidents possibly. And speaking of up in incidents, number 87 is off, it seems, down at that corner. Oh, yeah, number 87. That is LeBlanc, who is now RTG. So, something happened to LeBlanc. Harris now on the back, down the main straight. Is it going to get John? Over the curbs, nice and tidy for the right-hander. Absolutely astounding for him there. Nice and clean, I would say, as this fight does continue. Absolutely lovely jubbly. Don't mind me, just doing something real quick. There we go. As they do continue around this circuit, going to hold on to this for the time being down the back straight. A little bit of lap traffic in the way, it seems, just ahead. So how's that going to play into the strategy here? John Gooday is going to hold on to it in the slipstream. It's going to be Harris, but how's it? Like I said, how's this slipstream going to play? Because you've got to remember, this is never over until it's over. Harris is, as we go on board in the helmet cap, so you can see the G's that come through the wheels as they continue to try and hold on to this, to try and take their moment as he is going to try around the outside. Is he going to go for an up and under? Not yet, it seems, getting past lap traffic. That may have cost John there. So that is not what he hoped for, but John Gooday making the way through, holding on to this as it's going to be looking for an opportunity down the inside. Still nada. As we approach 10 minutes remaining. Jablo on the back of Hanlon. He has got it done just before we switch to this. So that's that move done. We'll see if Hanlon can get the move done back. You can see also coming down, you can also see the main straight fight there between P2, between P3 and P4. So who is going to come out on top in this fight? These two fights up at the top. Amazing action to watch. Jones and Jane also having a little bit of a skirmish here, further back. So they have that opportunity, maybe a little bit deep there for Jablo. Is there going to be an opportunity here as my ACC has a moment? I don't know if that's a server-wide issue. I'll check Discord, but we'll quick intermission because ACC's having fun with me apparently. So here we go, chat. We are back. Apologies about that. Apologies about that, chat. Series... for me, it wasn't internet issues. What that was Series S doing Series S things. Well, what that was Xbox Series S doing Xbox Series S things, which we apologise for. Got back in as quickly as possible. So we are back watching this with 7 minutes, 25 seconds remaining on the clock. So as they continue around here comes John Goodey, there he is, and this gap, now this is an interesting one. We've got two fights back here, Bluish and Kanisaj. And I'm going to say this, he's got that move done, lovely jump late. That was a good old battle of the oranges, because the Porsche also has orange on the car, so good old little battle of the fire, I would say. As you've got Kristen now on the back of Surovsky, as it's going to be the battle of black and gold. As, well, I don't know what that is, as they continue around here. Harris and Goodey are... They're fighting. They've been fighting for ages, I would say. Good defence there by John, though. As this fight further back, battle of the Porsches. Personally, one of my all-time favourite cars, watching these cars fight around a circuit like this. It is interesting to watch as they continue to fight here, because the implications is that number 91, that is Surovsky, who picks up a drive-through penalty. The drive-through penalties are being dished out like snacks tonight. They are not going anywhere. Jeez. Behind, he's got the drive-through. 187 drive-through track limits. That's much from bad to worse for him as well. So you've got to feel for these drivers tonight. It's been a tough one out there, and it seems like this is going to be a fight that will take us to the end, unless we've got this one. We've got Rick and Schumacher coming on the back straight now, coming down the back straight. Oh, I see. As we go down the back straight and continuously looking to fight here, looking on the left hand side to go into the braking zone or lift zone realistically around here. Getting very close there, but he is going to get the move done. Lovely move on Schumacher, that's going to put him up into P number 21 as he goes very wide there. Oh my goodness! Schumacher takes that back the position. Plugen's going to get a position. That was incredibly wide there for Rick. And I am going to put a... I'm going to do a double duty thing because I forgot to do this. the other day. But we now do it. Apparently flashing. They know I want. Oh no, wait. That's a Porsche. That's a Porsche that needs to pull over. Final 2 minutes now. I'm looking to see where the leader is. What lap times has the leader been putting in? That is the question. That is the wrong button, Lex. Boss. 154s. So we are on penultimate. We are on penultimate here. There we go, it goes up. Driver of the day, get your votes in as we continue around here at the Circuit Paul Ricard on penultimate, looking for final. Who is going to win in this fight? Who is going to choose to back out of it? It is all to play for. Harris, good aim. Also got this fight. Leader enters final lap. It is white flag around the circuit. It comes down to this, and it is all to play for. Joe is 6 seconds behind. It looks like it's going to stay pretty consistent. 3-3-9 drive through the track limits. That's going to be Costello who picks that up into the final lap now. So how is this fight going to fare? I am watching this fight, but I'm also watching the little arrow that heads around the circuit. You've also got a three-way fight further back. You've got this one, you've got Schumacher, you've got Blunden, you've got Rick. That's going to be evolving right in the final moments, right on the back of this. Well, in fact, they are going to be fighting all the way as the leader is now moving down the back straight. So let's give it a little bit of this as they're going to actually back out. It looks like, what's that? Who knows? But down the back straight, Schumacher, Blunden, Lick. Is there anything that could be opted against for? It's going to be white flag now, and it's going to be stop go 30, 4-3-3-9 towards the end of this. But now lap traffic is going to get in the way, it seems. So it's going to give us a little bit of extra time to watch this, but it looks like it's going to stay consistent. And into the mustache section, as I call it. I need to learn the actual corner names, unless they're numbered. But it's been a massive drive for him tonight. His closest competitor got a drive-through and a stop-go. Ended up retiring. Pressure, what pressure? Boss is going to come round the final corner, and he is going to go to the line in that golden Ford. He'll take the golden step. He wins here at Paul Ricard, and that is one heck. That is one hell of a drive for him. A little bit further back, you've got Harris and Gooday, who are going to be fighting towards the end. Yo will take P number 2. It's Harris. It's Gooday. Who's going to take it to the line here at Paul Ricard? It looks like, and it will be John Gooday who will take P3 here. And that is absolutely astounding at the end of the day. So now a little bit fight as well. You got Barden, who is going to get that penalty after coming across the line there in the fight of Devrel, etc. It was Devrel ahead of Schumacher, ahead of Blugen, ahead of Rick. Of course, Costello with a stop-go 30. He'll get penalties towards the end. Moss and Harris were tied in the vote for driver of the day. And honestly, I have 3 people I could give driver of the day to, as they do still head around the circuit. Boss, driver of the day for pure dominance. What a drive from him tonight. He's done absolutely mega as we got the rest of these drivers coming to the line. There's Lane. Jones coming to the line as well. Staying pretty consistent, but he's good. driver of the day for consistency, if I were to say anybody. And then, of course, you've got Barden, who's now coming in the line around the final corner. And a few others. But if I'm gonna give a driver of the day for dominance, it's gonna go to Boss. If I was to give a driver of the day for defence, it'll be John Godet. If I was to give a driver of the day for consistency, it would be Jones, in my opinion. I mean, if I was to give a driver of the day for recovery, Blue and Shio, after what happened to them earlier on. But it's got to be Boss. How can it not be Boss for driver of the day? What a recovery from him tonight. Whoa, recovery, no recovery. Fastest lap, P1, and all the way there. No surprise, driver of the day for him from myself. Let us know in the Discord and in the chat who your driver of the day is. But your final classification goes like this. It's Boss P1 with Yo P2. John Godet will round out the overall podium. Then Harris, Hanlon, Jablo, Bagadalia, Linton, Goose, Tulafalia, who rounds out the top 10. It's then James Jones, Haromko, Kristen, Blue and Shio, Santos, Barden, Kanasaj, Devril, Schumacher, Blugan, Rick, Sorowski, Donahue, Mendez, Wang, Mackie, Costello, Morel, Plunch, Roche, and then Rufferton. LeBlanc, McGowan, and Hill would not take the flag, and then of course it would be Druish in P, who did not finish anywhere time, neither with Colley or Spacer. So let's go through what is going to be coming your way after this, because what a race that was tonight, and hopefully I might be able to do interviews next week as they continue around the circuits, continue around the fights, as they head around this world as buttons work. Buttons work, please. But we hope that you have enjoyed it tonight, as this has been one hell of a night, I would say. Let us know. Remember to stay hydrated as well, chat, because hydration is very much key. Hydration is very much key. Remember that, chat. Remember, hydration is key. I know I sound like I'm yapping a bit, but I'm going to give a quick reminder to you all that you can go to patreon.com/IFWL, and you can use code LEXI, that's LEXI, for, of course, to get 50% off your first subscription. So as they head around and they head and wait, the checkered is there and it is fallen. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been IFWL. I've been Lexi. Good night. Thank you for tuning in.